there's like something serious there or something.
No, yeah, you're good. You're good. Thank you so much for joining me today, brother. Now, let me ask you, what type of bundler are you working with right now?
I'm currently working with Penguin,
Okay.
but actually, so my question today isn't because I made last week about like Penguin tools and like the bundling stuff, right? So
Mhm.
today I have a totally like different set of questions. It's actually about sniping.
Okay. What you got?
Yeah, so okay, hold on, let me just share my screen.
Oh, beautiful. Let's do it.
Yeah, to show you what I'm trying to do. Because I went and look at all the videos that you had on YouTube about like the way that you set up like the sniper bots and all that. So
Yeah.
because I'm trying to do something like that's really really like AFK, like I can just like run it and it's like go
Oh,
to work
yeah.
or something
Schedule
like
and
that.
go.
And yeah, so but then the hold on, I just share my screen.
Okay.
Do you
Let's
see it
do it.
now? Yeah,
Yeah.
is it
Yeah.
like do you see my Osmo?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So
Yep.
so I ran this like migration sniper for about 24 hours. So
Okay.
I'm running a simulation mode, so like nothing's happening yet. So like there are some things that I just want to. So one is the whether the settings that I'm using is like okay.
Okay.
That's one. And number two, like I actually have a problem with like Pumpit because what ended up happening is that I went to see Pumpit Pro, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I remember you said in one of your videos that the like you should probably get Pumpit for migration sniper before it becomes usable. The problem is that they're selling the blacklist that I have it, but they stopped selling the whitelist. So I don't know whether that is affecting my P&L somewhat because well it's basically an incomplete system.
So first thing first, let me kind of run down with this. What type of node are we working with, first of all?
Currently I'm running on source node, so
Cool.
yeah,
Just a
so
good
so
node.
like yeah, I have my source node set up. Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful. And then now, are you currently running the Osmo bot on a copy trading, or is it more so migrate? Like, what's the current method that it has set up for your snipe?
So I have a copy trader which I haven't finished setting up. But the migration sniper is the one that's mainly running. So I just show you the settings like just pretty quickly here. Uh, I did. Yeah, can you see this?
Yep, I do. Okay,
Okay, yeah.
beautiful.
So these are the settings I'm currently using. So this is the one that I just like copy pasted directly from the video the last time.
Okay. So on the far left hand side here, the module we currently have set up is that set up for AFK at the moment. What do you have it set up for? Module set up for.
Um, like I just set it as like a regular like migration sniper. So
What I would
I
do,
understand that there's a yeah. Oh, sorry, you can go.
I was gonna say I would set up for copy trade actually.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, basically kind of give you an idea, an understanding of like what we'll do, and then we can kind of walk through the actual doing it. But I will first want you to understand basically the idea of leveraging your wallets in a way that'll make sense for you for actual deploys. So first
Alright.
thing first, right, is when it comes to Ozmo specifically, I've done some tests with it, and I found that you can use multiple wallets as long as your system can handle it. However, it's best to copy trade. If you're, for example, let's say you had, let's say, 10 wallets, right? Or let's just say 5 wallets. Yeah, yeah, 5 or 10 wallets. Don't matter. Let's say do 10 wallets. 10 wallets. You've got 10 wallets. What I would do is I would make sure, because I've done this test many times, and what it needs to happen is each of those wallets are essentially copying a different set of parameters that for example, let's say we have 10, let's say we have 50, no, let's say 5. We'll have 5 different wallets that we found that have, let's say, a profitability of, let's say, 66% ROI, or sorry, 66% win rate. Let's just say we found this wallet trades, let's say, on average of 7, 8 minutes per trade. So theoretically, we can make sure that we can come in, and we know that on the average, the profit, and I can show you how to find all this out, by the way. So But
Oh, yeah, sure.
once we find out all that information, then boom, we have the wallet we want to copy trade. So theoretically, what you would do is you would set up the copy trade for that instance of that particular wallet, and then the other wallets that you have, which are technically in the long run going to be bundle wallets anyways, they're going to copy other high profitable wallets. So that way they're all not copying each other. Because if you front run yourself, you're going to show essentially the same type of repetitive nature on the charts, which is going to look like probably a blacklist situation for you, anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
ideally, what we want to do here is we want to first break things down a little bit. I want to first show you how to essentially grab a batch of basically addresses. Now, there's several ways to do this. Um, the first way is, do you currently have Telegram currently on this VPS as well?
Yeah. Actually, I think we talked last week about if I'm not wrong, it's Delphi Guru and Soul Squeezer. So
Yeah,
that's what I've
exactly.
got.
Yeah, so did you get those at all?
Yeah, yeah, I ended up getting those. So I have Delphi Guru on me. I just don't have like the pro version of Soul Squeezer. So it's like when I generate my list, it doesn't give me like a full like it doesn't give me CAs. Like not a lot of them anyway. I think it's skip through like most of my requests.
So, if I'm not mistaken, you basically take the batch that you essentially took from Zen, and then you would drop that batch into your other bot, right? Which will basically soul squeeze it, and then from that point on, you can
Yeah,
essentially find those profitable wallets through that scrape, right?
yeah.
And you've done this before, right?
Yeah, yeah, I've done this before. So,
Okay.
I mean, I went to see the video that you had as well. So I was like, okay, yeah. So if I just did that, and then, like pasted the CAs onto like the copy trader like bot, like
Yeah.
for example, if I have my CA, I mean, this is just an example CA, like when I did copy trading like a few months ago.
And this is a
But generally,
trade. This is a kind of wallet address you're trading with, right?
yeah, 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 this is just a regular wallet.
Okay, cool. And so, from my understanding here, what is your profits at, as far as this particular trade? I mean, it's essentially set up for
So
scalping?
yeah, yeah. So right now I've set it at about 10% pull out. So like yeah, just a regular stopping
Okay, good.
strat. Yeah,
Um,
so
huh?
um yeah, so the questions I had were actually because I actually have like I'm a bit concerned about specific settings. I mean I just want to check whether like firstly everything was like generally looks like it made sense.
Yeah.
The second one is that, for example, I'm actually not sure about like the swap endpoints, for example, because when I looked at the video, I was like, okay, the guy's using next block, right? But then I didn't pay for next block, so the only thing I have is Gito and I don't know what the TX node is. I don't know whether that refers to my
When you said
like my
wait,
source node or something.
wait, quick question. When you said you didn't pay for next block, what do you mean by that?
So I mean, I went to Google Nextblock, right? So, and basically, there's like a paid version of Nextblock. So I was like, I don't know whether I should be
There's a paid
using
version of
that
next
or
block.
something.
It just has to do with specifically your speed of your RPC. It's not like a. The only thing that I know might be a little extra would be maybe, and I have to look into it, but the API that they have, which I think should be counterintuitive for everybody. But beyond that, um, the block thing essentially setting the parameters for your RPC to try to work as fast as possible to get on to the next block. It's not like an extra fee or anything like that.
Right. Okay. So for example, like if I just did this and then I just found like say like I could just click all of these technically and then just fill out the settings, basically asking for
Right.
the API keys, right?
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Okay, and so even if the API keys are like say on the free plan or something like that of all these like other API keys, it should be
Well,
fine as long as there are multiple on there.
but this is the thing, right? To be completely frank and honest with you, right? I
Mm,
honestly feel like the API key of Pump It would be kind of counterproductive if, in case you were doing a CT trade wallet, because theoretically speaking, there's a lot of different contracts that I have seen, and honestly, it's funny because the left side's saying, okay, go ahead and jump in, there's volume there, the charts are going up. And on the right side, you
yeah,
see, like, for example, for some different sources saying that's a rug, it's, this is that. Now, the thing about it is, a lot of these wallets that are essentially doing, profits, To be completely frank with you, I don't think they care a lot of times whether if it's rug or not. I think that they're working in a way where there's two things that they have good going for them. One of those things is obviously speed because they may be working with some of the fastest nodes that you can buy, you know, maybe such as like urban or orbit node, right? These things work at
Right.
really, really fast speeds. They're also freaking 70 to 80 SOL in a low market, in a high market, like 140, 130 SOL, you know? So if they're working with that and then they're working with also these bare bone dedicated systems, which are basically the same thing you're working with, which is like a VPS, but the only difference is your VPS is being shared through the broadband through your other counterparts, whoever's, if you're on Source or Sauce or if you're on VPS, usually it's being shared with other people, you know? Even though it's fast, regardless of it being fast, it's, at the end of the day, it's still being shared. So, if you have a system that's fully dedicated to you and you're only on it, and of course you got the fastest node out there, and obviously an adequate bot that works at a comparable speed, then it's just PvP at that point, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is they come in and they basically get the profits as the chart said they was. That's why we do the analyst you do your own research report to give us that information to feel comfortable that no matter what they go into, we should be able to hedge 15, 20, 30% depending on who you're essentially selecting, right? And so if you have the API turned on, it might miss out on opportunities of your profit because these wallets again don't care if it's blacklisted. They came in because they have an algorithm when to go out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So you don't want to be paying for something, right? And then it really be losing you money at the end of the day. No, I
Yeah.
feel like
So
the
you.
API would be good for if you're doing essentially instead of copy trading. If you went to my website, for example, like exitliquidity.com, and you're trenching and you're looking for certain things, and you're not sure, you don't have any type of data analyst that tells you like, you know, if I go in and go out, you know, I have this measurement to work with, then yeah, that would be great because then you're going into a situation where potentially those 20% of those wallets could be blacklisted and could be saving you a potential lot of put a different loss considering the market cap's so low. See what I'm saying? Does that make
Okay.
sense?
So you're talking about pump. Yeah. Yeah. So you're talking about pump it, right? So basically, what you're saying is that like it's actually not um useful?
Well,
Question mark.
it just really depends on how you use it. Like I would look at it like this, right? If I was a doctor, right? Some of my patients they may need to have like you know some serious like medicine. Like I need to order out prescription medicine from them. Some of them come in, they sick, they don't need the hardcore medicine. They can need it over the counter. The way I will look at it like this: pump it will be great for you when you're doing trenching. When you're essentially like looking, like for example, if you go to my website real quick. Have you ever seen it yet? The exitliquidity.com.
Yeah, yeah. I think you showed it to me like last week or something.
I've updated several times. Just go to Google, open a new tab,
Yeah.
uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and just type in exitliquidity.com without the E. And I'm gonna show you basically how to do like how the blacklisted API would work very effective here because then you're able to essentially vet in a whole other perspective. So like if you scroll down, right, for example, right, and you know you just see any CA, like for example there or whatever, right? You just click on any of the CA address. So click on it once, for example.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you click on it once, it automatically will copy it, and theoretically you could paste it to a Telegram if you wanted to, if you had your bot hooked up to it. See, this is the way you could work it, right? You can have your
Right.
your Ozmo connected to the Telegram or the Discord. And by going and trenching this way, you can literally go ahead and, for example, before you even copy that, you can click on trench. It'll pop up. Like, for example, go back to the website one more time and then click on the trench icon. That's
Range. Oh yeah, this one.
yeah. So click on that. So that'll tell you about you know the contract if it has you know if it has you know bundles in it or not. If it doesn't have any bundles, it'll say it looks like everything's clean. And they basically you're able to do a little bit of vetting before you drop it into your Discord or a Telegram. So theoretically, you can use Ozmo to scrape your own empty space, right?
Hmm.
And you
Okay.
can
So
and then what you could do, right, is so, you know, obviously you're the only one that's in that room, but you're essentially going ahead and you're vetting specific entities. And all let me show you something that's crazy. So close that, for example. And let's scroll down to one that has a picture. Oh, by the way, scroll all the way to the very top. Let me show you something real quick. To the very top.
Okay.
And then you see where it says the filters right there? You can actually change the filter to say right there. Yep. Click on it, says with image. But now scroll down. It'll show you all the CA addresses that are being tweeted that only have images. So sometimes people do this because images can send off waves in your brain that can make you want to go forth and do something that you may be regret later. This is why we FOMO. That's why being a bundler, we are heavy into marketing, right? So by being able to turn that on and turn that off helps you to decide from a number perspective rather than just an image perspective. But if you need the image, then boom, you can filter it in like that, right? And then, like for example, click on community, for example. Click on community right there. And oh, you know what? My bad. Hit close again and click on the CA first.
EA. All right.
Yeah. Now click on community. And now paste it in there. Just Control V. It should, yeah. And then now scroll down, and then you can hit search. Yeah. All right. Cool. So now you have to log into your X. But once you log into your X, this is only for verified people, by the way. But when I should put a probably note on the site. But basically, once you log into your X, it'll show you all of the verified people and non-verified people that have at least liked it 4 or 5 times in the last 7 days, which will give you an understanding if there's community settlement behind the coin. So now if you see all these blue checks saying, oh, go, 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 that's like, oh shit, there's actually verified people talking about it now, right? There's actual real volume here. Now like that, boom, no results. That means there's not really community. I mean, that to tell you that this is probably just a rug project. This is really trenching. And the thing about it is, theoretically, people can do this already without having to have exit liquidity, but it's just 5 steps just to get to one thing, you know? And I just made it streamlined where you could just put the CA and boom, it does the work for you, you know?
Yeah.
So once you get to a situation, right, then you see, all right, cool, like this is something that maybe has, you know, people behind it, and you looked at the trench report and you say, oh well, like the bundle's not there, then you might want to copy it, just like you did. You started copying, paste it into your own TG, your own Discord. And then guess what? That black hat API becomes effective. Then it becomes the third layer of condom before you actually fire in. So you did like 4 different vets. You did a trench vet, you did a community settlement vet, you have a blacklist API vet. So now you literally have 3 to 4 different variations before you even get into a contract that nobody's at all using to that discretion, to that you know, deep level of, you know, DYOR. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So basically, it's like it's not super great for, say, if I just like put it in my like a migration sniper AFK and just like let it there. But it's better for, say, if I'm trenching manually and then it just becomes like a last layer of defense.
Yeah. Or like what I'm gonna do too. This whole site's free. But what I'm gonna do is when I drop the coin, I'm gonna make it so it's not gonna be expensive at all. But if you could like just get like 5,000 maybe tokens or 10, 20,000 tokens, it's gonna be cheap as hell for people. But basically, I'm gonna make it like a little small minimum thing where they buy a little stash, then allows you to have access to the webhook that all this information is being coming from. So theoretically, I'm putting like 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 people that are like literally like verified people online. And the thing about Twitter is yes, you can follow all these people, but because the algorithm works slow, you're not going to get all that information to your thread like fast speed Gonzalez. You know, it's going to be kind of like sparse throughout the day. Like, damn, this gets posted 2 hours ago. I wish I would have known this about, you know, 10 minutes, long ago. So what this does is I have an API integration that manually fetches the data from these particular sources. So everything gets basically brought into the source every 1 minute. Every 1 minute it gets updated. So if something happens in the world and like one of the sources covering it, boom, it gets hit on the site. And what happens is the more and more it gets hit, I've also programmed it where on the right side it says trending CAs. If more and more posts are coming from different people but are talking about that same CA, you double click on that. Watch this. Double click on that right side right there. It'll open up the live trending there. Yeah, and then boom. So now you have access to the trending to the car charts. Any CA that you click on in that site, it'll open up into the charts for you always, even on your phone.
Yeah.
And on the right side, you click on the open book right there. You see where it says open book? Yeah, you can literally get the buy and sell. So you can scroll down. You can go to this all the way to the site. Like I'm making it super. This is gonna be changing the game. Like this is like Twitter on crack. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Oh man.
you can see,
Yeah.
you're cooking. You're cooking. Now you can see the buy and sell charts and all that stuff right there, conveniently in front of you. So, um, yeah. So basically, now you're off the site though. But you go back on the second tab. Um, yeah, you're there. So you can close that. Oh, let me show you something really cool too, by the way. And this is going to be helpful for not only deployers but also snipers and just people in general. Just people don't have no idea how to use this. It's so powerful. But click on any of the CAs. Go scroll down real quick. Any CA doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then go to CTO.
Oh, this one.
Yep. And then paste that CA in there. And then yeah. Now what it's done is it's created a private room. So now if I was like either a or a sniper, or if I was like in a circle, you and I could be in a group right now, have a conversation. Like matter of fact, paste that CA in the Discord, and I'll jump in there so you'll see it's like a live chat.
Okay, so for example,
It allows you to be anonymous. It basically
yeah.
what essentially does is it removes the Telegram world where you feel like, hey, anybody can delete this shit at any point, you know. Whereas this one is like non-biased, like it's a room that basically you can have leverage to, meaning like on the right side you should be able to double click. For example, on the you see the CA up there, double click on the CA, the green one on the left side, no, the green one to the left.
Oh, the green
Left.
green one,
In the center.
left. Oh yeah, this one.
Double click that, yeah. So if you're chatting and shit, you can literally still look at the charts. Boom. I'm about to jump in real quick so you can see. A second. Hold on. Exit. And then you close it. So basically, it's like, in the Telegram world, you used to have to, do the buy bots and all that shit. But basically, it's there for you. So if I said, hey, what's up? You should see that? That's me.
Oh yeah.
And then you can respond back. Okay. Yeah. So now no need for Telegram. You can literally buy Bullets, Blags, Bloom, Radium. You can still buy and sell from here with any of those before. You can still research the trench, vortex, everything there. It's a lot of shit you could do basically. It's OP right now. No one knows about it. It's just a secret sauce. So imagine now, right? You got 2 or 3 people, right, that are like literally daily cookers. And now you say, you know what, we got about 10, 20 soul each. We're bundlers. We can work a situation where we jump into this decentralized room that only we have access to. We're the ones that telling everybody. We tell each other when to exit. So when I come in with my bundles, I sell. Next thing you come in, exit, boom, sell. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's a powerful Morris thing. That's just a whole nother situation. So I'm slowly rolling it out, but my community is the only ones that are going to be able to gravitate. I mean, it's free right now, but unless you have the education, you're not going to be able to use it to your discretion. So now you have the education.
Hey, all right.
Yeah. So.
Okay. I get.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. So I'm cooking up left and right. But ideally, what I was saying is when it comes to Ozmo, eventually I'm gonna drop the coin. The coin will allow you leverage. Matter of fact, what I'll probably do is anybody who's already like yourself, a student, you don't even have to get the coin. You'll get access right instantly. I'm probably get everybody that's a 101 student already free access regardless, without having to buy the coin. But how it work for other people though is if they want to get in, they can literally just buy the coin. I'm not sure, like a very, very small amount, like crazy small, not millions and shit. And then basically when they get into Discord, we have a collaboration with this company called Collabland. And what they do is they have a basically a bot admin within the Discord, and as long as you have a holding a specific amount, you can have access to certain rooms. So I've created a room that everything you see on exitliquidity.com, all that stuff that's on the homepage that's coming in left and right, well, that's being dropped as we speak into the Discord instantly, where at least the website has to wait a minute for it to pass. So if you want to get that right away to your Ozmo, it's basically filtering those in real time with the API. And that's, well, it'll become more advanced. It'll be even more advanced than the people that are on Exit Liquidity, because they're waiting for the data where you're getting it right off the bat, and the bot gets to dissect it for what it is. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, at the end of the day, it's a win-win for everybody. But yeah.
Dang, that's a code, bro.
Yeah, man. It's basically, it's like, damn. once people start to figure out, it literally is. It's like, damn, yo, are you? Because people are gonna be like, yo, are the exit boys in here? Like, let's go to the chat real quick and see if anybody's in the chat. Because what happens is the chat's don't get deleted. So even if I you and I are out of it, and I said, hey, we come back 5 days later, our chat's still there, the history's still there. So anybody can continue to add to it. It's a full decentralized, autonomous. Like you don't gotta feel like, oh damn, it's a rug, or if it is a rug, at least you know the room will always still be there for community settlement.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, okay.
But basically, just to get into what the idea of the API, just kind of go down this is that we want to essentially connect that API to only specific things that are not for sure. That is basically opposite of copy trading. You know, we know for sure that the parameters are
Right.
set up, that we don't need to place it because they're going to get into some. And honestly, to be frank with you, the Soul Squeezer actually does a wonderful job by actually leveraging not only the transactions of the buy and sell, the times, but also just determine if it doesn't have any honeypots, because it determines, okay, like this particular contract, these are the 85% pump fund, 15% radium, 5% were honeypots. You don't, last thing you want to do is jump into copy trade coin where he's doing like 65% of it is honeypots, and it might look like it's profit, but really he just couldn't sell. you know
Right. Yeah.
and so, yeah, that's always a thing. But I really want to figure a way how to just, I just got done talking to the devs over at Zen, and also Zelfru, and also Soul Squeezer. And just kind of honing that down into exit liquidity so that way people can have more leverage. But right now, what I would say to you is if you're ever on exitliquidity.com and you do want to be able to, without the whole automation process of it going straight to the Discord or going straight to Telegram, on the top right corner, there's a little share icon, like a 3 dots. You can click on that and it'll literally open up Telegram. So go back to home, for example, and scroll down. And so basically on the top right side, you can see you see that type of icon right there. Yeah, click on that. And what this will do, you click on share, it'll share it into a specific Telegram for you. So now it'll share, you can, for example, share it to your own Telegram, which already is connected to the Ozmo. And so Ozmo's job is to find any type of CA address that's correlated to any type of text, right? So it's scraping that. So as long as you share that to that specific group, which is yours, then theoretically you can literally give it Ozmo like almost like a shotgun. You cock the shotgun back, but it's up to the API to determine if it wants to fire.
Right. Okay. So it's basically like if I put it in there, Osmo API picks it up, and then it determines, and then after that, does it automatically place the trade if it passes the parameters?
It will, depending on your parameters, right? So, like for example, this is the great thing about it too. It's almost like queuing it. So, let's say if your parameters are set up for like say 50,000 market cap to like 80,000, and the contract that it pulls in is only like 25,000 market cap. Well, Ozmo is going to pull that data in. It's going to basically fetch it every second, basically, whatever your RPS rate is for your RPC server, or your node is, like 750 milliseconds, whatever second, whatever it may be, or 1,000, whatever it is. But it's going to be basically query that, and every time it gets to when it gets to that certain point, then yes, it'll fire in. It keeps it almost where you can kind of do other things, AFK, whatever you want to do, and then it's basically just literally looking over the shoulder of this particular CA that it's already queued in, but it hasn't fired in until you got to your parameters. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So theoretically, you could trench on here for like an hour, throw a whole bunch of CAs in there, throw it in the Discord or Telegram. It literally goes into queue situation where maybe only 1 or 2 might fire off at the end of the day because it's waiting for your prerequisites.
Right. Okay. But either way, it's so this is when I'm still trenching, right?
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, this is what makes it people copy you. And one of the features I think that you talked about that you may not have at the moment, which is that pro feature, I believe, when it comes to Soul Squeezer, which allows you to see if, let's say, for example, after you get the wallet that you know is actually tradable, the next step that would be very advantageous for you would be to see if that actual wallet is being copy traded itself, right? Because then theoretically,
Right.
what
Yeah.
about if you find the wallet, right? And you're like, damn, yeah, I got it. It's been like 20 minutes of freaking hardcore squashing all these, batches and then going filtering. Finally got something that looks good. Now you got to ask yourself, how many people are in line with you? You know what I'm saying? And so that pro feature basically allows you to take that wallet and then basically does a summary to find out if there's anomalies from every single contract that is entered that has basically wallets that are similar that came in with it. So then it counts that to as, okay, this particular wallet has up to 15 or 20 or 30 copy traders, right? And then at that point, it's a matter of two things, to be completely honest with you. It's, this PvP is like PvP. This is one of the reasons why the guys that pay on Pixel Labs or other nodes like Sauce may be paying 8-9 soul a month compared to the guys that are paying 15-20 soul for like these these urban or orbits, is because they realize, okay, shit, if I'm gonna be copy trading, I'd rather be in first in line. So that means what do I got to do to be first in line? Well, I got to hit that at 150 milliseconds to 250 milliseconds every single time, not a problem, and exit as fast as that. So my profits could be essentially, better than the next man, basically, right? And so,
Right.
yeah, in a nutshell, you come to essentially a case study where once you actually have the profitable wallet, it'll do you far more advantage having that pro feature, so that way you can determine if that wallet is already being traded. Because if it isn't, then theoretically, as long as you're coming in with a nice set of speed, which Sauce does, you should be able to print regardless. But doesn't mean that in a couple days or 3-4 days, like, you won't be copy traded. Then they're trying to get to the nectar faster than you. And if your node isn't consistent, then they can. You know what I'm saying? And then it just offsets the
Yeah.
profits all even more.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah.
Yeah, sorry. No, because I was just thinking about like, because that kind of like goes back to my question on like the settings, right? So let's say that okay, maybe now that you mentioned about the copy trader, I'll just kind of pull that up.
Okay.
If I just edit tasks, let's put these first. Uh, if I go on edit, uh, yeah. So let's say that I've got like copy trading settings here, right?
All right.
So like yeah. So for example, uh like let's say I just got this from like Soul Squeezer Pro,
Yeah.
right? And then I've done all the necessary checks. So I just want to check whether like these settings are fine. Maybe you could just like go through them to see whether like there's anything that I need to
Sure.
change or yeah, anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's so we're currently at the moment, I believe, copying basically one wallet. So we could go
Yeah.
basically right to left, I guess. So from the right side, boom, and then what here on the bottom, what's your parameter set? It's kind of a little blurry on my end. So maybe you have to tell me about what it says.
Right. Sorry. Let me just wait. Oh, I can zoom in. Okay.
Oh no, you're good. It's just
Sorry.
because of the fact that Discord might be on like 720p and it's small writing. But if you just tell me what it is, I can
Yeah.
tell you.
Okay, sorry. So my okay, my sites are Pump Fund, Radium, and Pump Swap.
Yeah.
Concurrent tokens under buy options one.
One. Okay.
Amount 0.15.
0.15.
Well, I have
Okay.
one soul in my
That's
yeah,
your
I have
soul.
like one soul in my wallet right now.
Okay.
My both my buy and my sell slippage is 60%.
Buy and sell is 60%. Okay. I would say sell to be should be 60%. The buy though, this is the thing. So, all right. So this is the thing, right? So you're working with a pretty fast node, but it's not obviously the fastest, but it is pretty fast. Now,
Yeah.
let give you an understanding of how this whole slippage thing works. So let's just say the market cap right now, hypothetically, is 3,000 market cap, and your wallet's come in hoping that it wants to get to 3,000, but because of the volume that came in, it pushed the market cap up, and let's just say the market cap now is like 4,500 or 5,000 now. Theoretically, if your slippage was set to, let's say, for example, 5%, then it would not allow you to enter into the trade because you're not going to be able to buy into that 3,000 market cap. You're be buying at the higher percentage up. You see what I'm saying? So
Right. Yeah.
Theoretically, when you have a node that is like freaking, Sonic the Hedgehog, it may be advantageous to keep your slippage low because you theoretically have a sniping powerful machine no matter what should hit that. Now, if you don't, this is why you open up the gates a little bit, because what happens then, let's say you're working with something like what you have now, you set your slippage for maybe 25, 30, 40%. You do make those positions. You get in at 445 for 5. However, your goal was to get in at 3, which means that
Mm.
theoretically, if you didn't get in at 3 and it wasn't you, then someone else did, right? And then someone else did, then even though they didn't technically sandwich any particular bundle, they still front ran you, and they still have the power to also probably sell on top of you if you don't act upon it fast. So this is what becomes the consistency of PvP in this game, is to understand how much you're leveraging with. Now, if I was you, I would probably keep it like, I would test this number like 15, 20%, because at the end of the day, if I lose the position to get in, it was probably better because it meant to me then maybe, for example, I'm gonna give you a hypothetical right here. For example, sauce, for example, is not a validated node. They do work really well. They do it really fast. They're dash burn. They're also in the
Yeah.
same data center as its processors for the VPS goes. However, they're not staked. So because they're not staked with
Mm.
like millions of freaking Solana, then they don't have the advantage as a high stake node to be able to buy into position faster. That's why obviously you're paying more for those other communities than others. So just to make a long story short, basically at the end, just keep this in mind. I personally, just me personally, I prefer to set up a slippage that is moderate between like 15 to 20% and below, and be okay with not getting into position because maybe, just maybe, my node was hitting at 900 milliseconds or maybe 1.2 seconds for some random weird reason, and it saved me literally maybe one soul or 2 soul lost profit. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it's better that you don't enter into the trade and get front ran rather
Yeah. If it's gonna
right.
work
Yeah, okay,
fast, then
yeah.
it better work fast in the parameters of the slippage that I set it for. Some people do set it for 50 because this is the thing. If you're working on a project, let's say you have the real demand behind the person that you're dropping it. Let's say you're working with a celebrity or something, for example, right? And at that point, you really don't care really if it's like 40% because you're gonna be buying such a large position in the beginning anyways, that if a sniper buys like 1 soul, you just bought probably like 50, 60 soul on 20 to 30 wallets. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really care too much about that because the demand is going to have more pressure anyways. But if it's in this
Yeah.
instinct where it's like I'm trying to sell to make profit at a very early market cap, then you got to basically be able to secure the floor as fast as possible.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I just carry on with this settings, yeah. So okay, my TX amount is 1. Um
Okay.
my priority fees for both buy and sell is 0.001.
Okay. You said priority
Yeah.
fees?
Yeah, it's a priority fee for both buy and sell. It's the
Okay.
same.
Righty.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. My anti-math is 0.004 for both buy and sell.
I don't really think. Well, you're buying at 0.15. I don't really think you need to have
Yeah.
an anti-mev, to be completely frank with you, because like honestly,
Oh,
the anti-mev is gonna be for like buying into snipe positions at a higher like higher soul. Like no mev is looking for 0.15 to mev. You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Uh,
They're looking for like the
yeah,
guys
yeah,
that drop in like fucking 3 soul each wallet. Like they want to mev the shit out of them. They're not looking to mev you. That's like almost
right.
a less. They'll lose money meving you. To be honest with you.
Okay, yeah.
And you're losing
Wait, because
by
actually
having that
it,
on. You're essentially spending more money than you have to, basically, with the leverage that you're working with.
yeah. Okay, that kind of raises the question for me, right? So let's say
Yeah.
that like, cause I'm using 0.15 as a test now. So my idea is to basically increase it once I figure out that the system can work consistently. So like at what um like buy amount should I set a MEV, and how should I be setting my MEV in relation to the buy amount?
So that I believe the mev will be best set up in a way if you're essentially like for example, if you're inside circle on a specific play, and like for example, the exit liquidity thing. Like I'm like, okay guys, like I'm dropping the exit freaking coin. It's going great already. People love the site. Obviously, you guys are the first ones to get it. So that's when you would jump into Osmo, right? And then you got that whole like webhook that's already gonna happen. And so when it drops into Discord, immediately you're hitting it like as much as you want because you know it's got high pressure demand anyways, and the MEV essentially is there so you can essentially grab as much as you can so that way you don't get pushed out of position. That's only really theoretically when you really need it. Anytime else, like literally MEVs are coming nowhere near the charts, especially for the amount of soul that you're putting at the moment. But I would say the soul amount would be like anywhere above like 2-3 soul per wallet. But again, this is again more so bundlers world too. Guys are sniping, unless you're sniping for like 30, 40, 50 soul, like that's different, but usually the guys are sniping for 30, 40, 50 soul. Their guys are moving things from like 65 million to like 100 million because they already know that the position is moving forward.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that
Sorry, I
makes
talk a
sense.
lot, man. I got a lot of shit in my brain.
Yeah, no worries, bro. All good. This just like knowledge. I'm just trying to like sponge it, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
sponge too. Just let me
okay.
know and I can help you out with anything that you got
Yeah, sure,
plans.
thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, so okay, I'm just gonna move on swiftly. So my TX swap endpoint is currently TXOs and GTO, but based on what you said earlier, I should just take all of these, right? And then just find like the APIs for the free programs and whatnot and just put them in Osmo.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, like the APIs are great if you're trenching yourself specifically, but if you're copy trading, they've done all this stuff for you. That's the whole point of copy trading. You're like all filters
Right,
off.
yeah,
You already have those parameters set.
that makes sense. All right, okay.
Now, depending on like the market too, will also and the meta will kind of will allow you to understand how you can use your bot. Like right now, it wouldn't be very smart to hold on long positions and gems because nothing's really going from like freaking pump fund all the way to freaking 65 million in a matter of 2 or 3 days. Like because the volume is just shit right now. But
Yeah,
it's a really good time to just get your swing trading on like crazy because at that point, as long as this is what I would do too. I would definitely recommend you also creating these wallets with the aging process on Penguin. So even if you didn't create the wallets from like Trojan or Bloom, they at least are looking like they are. And then when you're swing trading them, by the time you come to the point where you're bundling them, there's so much already transaction history behind these wallets that come from these already quote unquote aged trading accounts that
yeah.
it's just a matter of like pretty much buying your position and setting it off, doing a nice project that is. And by the way, speaking of that, that's another good way to use extra liquidity too, is that if you're already got everything ready to rock and roll, you're simply just saying to yourself, what do I send? Then those trending CAs and that trenching could be just for you because you could literally at that point just use Penguin to copy the CA, but you literally would find the CA on exit because you already see the market, you see people fucking with it, you see the volume. You're looking for a project that people are jumping into that is not so bundled, not for you to jump into it, but for you to recreate it. you know, and
Right.
all you gotta do is click on the little CA on the post, and then boom, you have the CA which you can post it into Penguin, which will allow you to literally boom, one click, a clone.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
See what I'm saying? It's reverse engineering.
Uh, okay. So you're kind of like using a bundler based on like you just pump it in as like a random CA that you find on like liquidity, is it?
Yeah, and not just random. Like honestly, what you're really doing is you're literally like sniping for marketing material. Like theoretically, you think about it. If you're going through exit liquidity right now and you go into pump and you look at their comments, and before you start even you got your wallets ready, you still know what you're gonna drop. You go into those pump comments, you see the dev talking with the like the header of the actual banner for decks and all that shit. Just save that shit so that when you clone it and you drop it your dev wallet in there in your comments, that actually people think that you took the time to do the whole header for. You're literally just scalping marketing material, but a lot of people don't even realize they're doing that. They're just being lazy and just cloning it, not really realizing that you can do so much and more with that by creating FOMO like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. It's like you might as well just copy it the whole way, right? So just like cloning the like the ticker name and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like for me personally, I would like to actually say like I do have this, bumping.fun is another cool way where you can actually give them like let's say 0.25 slow on it. Have that just as like a credit system. So that way whenever I do a project, it'll not only bump, but it also does comments. I could do like literally 300 comments and I have to worry about it. They're already ready to rock and roll. Just drop the CA address. It does its thing. Meanwhile, boom. While I'm able to actually solidify the floor, and then also have those market caps set up for limiters, so that way no matter what happens, if it goes up 25%, I'm exiting out regardless. I'm not being greedy, because that's one of the things that people lose. They lose on the all-time high because 25 all wallets got 25%. They're thinking, oh damn, anymore. Not realizing that you just 25% of all wallets is like damn near like 5 soul. You know what I'm saying? Like depending on how much you leverage. You see what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Uh, okay, so I'm just gonna move on to the sell options portion. So, okay, so I set my stop loss here at like 0, but that's because I have a trailing stop. So my trailing stop is just like uh yeah, it's just set in 2. So like profit target 5, price drop floor 50, sell amount 50. My next one is profit target 10, drop floor 50 again, and then I completely exit from there. So that's my trailing stop.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, my take profit is as I mentioned, that it's just like a 10% and out.
If you are doing, I would recommend, if you're doing copy trading, to do one of two things. One, either take a profit of, like, for example, 10%. For example, as if you know this all wallet is averaging 30 or 40%. Take 10, you take
Yeah,
your 10, 15, half of what they do, right? Take half.
okay,
And then what I would also recommend is, since you're already taking half, theoretically speaking, you don't want to be in a situation, because I see this all the time, where you basically limit yourself out, and you wish you shouldn't, because what happens theoretically is these wallets, again, they may be insider wallets. So if the charts go down, right, and they stayed in, it's because they already have information that you don't have, and there might be a situation where it might go down to 60% P&L, but he might come back out with 40 all the time. If the numbers are showing this already from already consistency of the soul squeeze, you just got to trust in that. And numbers is numbers. You know what I'm saying? And the last thing you want to do
right,
is go in, extra yourself out of 30% P&L, when in reality it went down 50 and then it went back up 600. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
because a lot of times they drop these bundles in, wipe the snipers out, rebuy with the dev wallet, send that shit back up as a pre-assumption plan, and the last thing you know it, you got out with the fake pump funk. They did it on purpose for you guys. But so the way to beat that is you either follow the sell of the actual copy trade wallet itself, so whether it sells, or you sell when you make X, Y, and Z profit. Either or. That way you don't trap yourself in
right.
a
Okay,
situation where you're gonna be fucked up.
right. Okay, yeah, yeah, I get what you mean. So it's either you just follow the depth, like, and then buy and sell patterns
Not
the
the
whole way,
dev,
or
but
you're
whatever
just like,
wallet you're trading against,
oh, sorry, yeah, yeah,
you
sorry, the
sell
copy
on
wallet, yeah.
them. Yeah, like whenever they sell, like that's like basically your version of stop loss, because technically speaking, it should never hit their sell. If you know that they're always hitting
Right,
profits of blah blah blah, then it should always sell on its own. But if it does, that's your version of they see something wrong, they got out, so you got to get out too.
alright, yeah, yeah, alright,
It's
okay.
always outsmarting motherfuckers.
Damn straight.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this was the one that we kind of really not sure about. It's a sell after. So the sell after, I put it at 27. But I saw that in the video, but that's because the wallet that the guy was trading was like, I think like a bundler wallet that was
You
in
know
and
what
out
though?
within like, say,
I was going to
yeah,
tell you though, what you can do with Osmo is you can actually do simulations. And so theoretically, the simulation is acting as if you had the best system in the world, because it's not taking into account a part of, like, priority. I mean, as far as like, the delays of things. But at least if you do the simulation, you're not risking any liquidity at first. And then you can essentially see if the numbers are right from even the highest perspective. Like if you had the highest, best machine in the world, best node in the world, then this is the numbers that you should basically be technically getting, right? you can test that out
Right.
before you even test your soul. You know that, right?
Yeah. So I'm currently running everything on simulation. So
Okay, good.
yeah.
How is it, by the way? Have you been profitable in the simulation mode?
I haven't tried the copy trading function. So funny enough, I was actually profitable on the migration sniper yesterday,
Huh?
and then I think about like maybe like 7 hours ago or something, it made three trades that completely tanked my PNL. So I was
Really?
just like, oh damn. Yeah, so because I was like, I think I was like 12% up. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's not too bad. And then it made three trades which all went down by like I think 50-60% before exiting. So my 12% profit turned to like I think 23% loss or something. But it's all in simulation. So I was like, oh
Wow.
damn, okay.
That's so no, yeah, so definitely definitely use that to your discretion just so essentially liquidating and testing things out that way. No matter what, before you turn the
Yeah,
fire on, you'll be able to understand, okay, cool. This everything else should be my system now, rather than,
right, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm
Okay,
not gonna
so
hold you
is
like
yeah, so you're recommending that just like oh yeah, sorry, you're gonna say something?
no, I was gonna just tell you like I was just while you were doing that, I was looking on my site, the number one trending CA that the my coding has found has went from I've been looking at it since we've been talking. It went from like a 90,000 and now it's up to like 400,000, like a 4x right now.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
You see it?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
It's
good though.
trending
It
yeah,
means it's
Discord
working.
here.
I'm gonna build this
Yeah.
later on. I'm gonna code in there where I'm gonna also bring in a plethora of negative rugger communities that basically they say to the people, don't buy this, don't buy this, don't buy that, because they're telling people about rugs. And so what's going to
Right.
happen is this trending CA is going to have a positive and a negative sentiment. So it'll automatically, through the power of AI, grab everything and allow the users to know, out of all these, tweets from all these people, 55 people, for example, say positive things, 22 people say negative. It gives you like basically even more details, that no one ever has in the
Right.
world to be
Yeah.
able to do this. I'm cooking, man. I'm taking a fucking
Yeah.
advantage of I pay like $500 a month for ChatGTP. I'm like the best one. I'm like the fucking Ferrari of fucking LUM coding.
Nice.
I'm like, I'm not fucking playing around.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. So just to wrap up on the
Sure.
like these like settings, right? So everything on the right is set to 0. I've just currently set the tick to start on first buy only and sell all any sell. So like does that like is that okay or should I kind of change it?
Sorry, say that last part. You were breaking up the last part.
So I have sell all and any sell ticked, and I have start on first buy only. So these are the only two things that I've ticked
Yeah,
on
first
like the
buy
entire
only.
right side of the column here.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah,
So the first buy only was good because what happens is like you never know if they're in the middle of a trade and they're just buying more positions. So
right.
essentially by clicking that, it's only going to take initiation of when they come into the trade for the very first time, right? So that's gonna be good. So keep that there.
Okay. Yeah.
And as far as the other thing, what was the other thing too?
Sell all or any sell. Like when the copy trade like when the guy I'm trading sells and then I just sell my whole position.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. So yeah, copy trade sell will be good because that'll be basically your stop loss. And then
Yeah.
technically that's your only stop loss. So I think everything else essentially is a matter of you getting to that particular profit margin, which is I think you already set for 10, 20, 15%, whatever it
Mm,
is, and then yeah, boom. By the way, are you with
yeah.
that particular wall that you're copying, are you aware of the duration on average trade with that wallet? Like what does the Excel sheet give you on that?
Hold on, let me just find this one. I'm actually not too sure because I never tested this wallet specifically. So but the wallets I've been finding on Soul Squeezer mainly are like I think bundler wallets, so they're in and out in like 20 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna assume that this is one of them. So yeah, like in and out in 20 seconds.
Okay, so I would probably not. I mean, to be completely honest with you, I would definitely recommend not follow copy training those guys at all.
Oh, okay.
The thing is, for one, there's a couple of reasons. One, you don't have the actually defensive tool with the pro subscription of Soul Scree to understand like how many people you're copy training that wallet. Like you could be theoretically speaking, you could be the exit liquidity. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
there could be
Yeah.
like 70 people following that motherfucker. But that's one. I always, when it comes to copy trading, try to copy people that are on average doing trades that are at least 8 minutes long and above. These people are
8 minutes
literally,
long and above.
yeah, these are real like trader guys. That are like no robot goes in and goes out on average 8 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Especially in this fucking
Yeah.
in this space. So you're looking for that average turnaround time to be 8 minutes because um there it kind of gives you leeway to a lot of move around time. You know, markets will move up and down a lot there in that time period. That's why I was like, don't have your stop loss off because the last thing you're gonna do is fuck yourself over, getting out like at 50% or 60 or 40% loss when really it went down 60, then it went back up to freaking 500. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, if this was forex, I'd maybe give you a different opinion, but this is meme coins we're talking about.
Yeah. Fair enough. Wait, sorry, just to clarify, so the 8 minute long and above is for average position hold time, right? It's like it's not the minimum. Like for example,
Right, average,
like
exactly.
okay, uh,
So
yeah,
you could
gotcha.
have ones that are 15 minutes, some of them like 5, some of them are 12, but on average, they'll average to be around like 7, 8 minutes. That's why those guys are real human beings. And think about it like this, bro. If you start CTing these guys, like even on 1.5s, on a consistent basis, you know how much FOMO you're gonna bring in with them all bundled together with on a consistency like that? Crazy.
Yeah, because it's like you're gonna
You're
get like a
doing the
good
exact
P&L,
same
like a
thing
good
that
like
you're
win
doing to
rate.
you.
Yeah,
Exactly. Because their wallets
yeah.
come in on average of 8 minutes consistently. They're saying not only this guy aged his wallet, but like he's consistently coming in. Boom.
Yeah.
So
Right, and then feeds back into like say if I did with like penguin tools.
yeah, you might get yourself in a situation. I know some people they do is they'll go ahead and use sauce, for example, the node you have to essentially copy trade because it's very good when it comes to specifically one particular wallet too. I mean, it's good for 2030 as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Don't get me wrong; it's good with the other bundles. But some people, what they'll do is they'll just like season it up because they'll be profitable. They'll get like 2, 3, 4, 5 soul a day just off of CT and then once it's time, they'll be like, you know what? I got like a little bag here, this 40, 50 soul, whatever. Let me just put like 5 soul or 3 soul for the day rental for the fastest node possible because I know all my wallets ready to rock and roll. And then you're
Right, yeah.
executing your positions more. You're just thinking smarter than harder. Like there's so much leverage to go to cut the cake with. Shit, some
Yeah,
people will
that
let you
checks out.
do a
Yeah.
test rental for 20 minutes and they just run a project up. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna say to do that because you know how it is.
Yeah.
One second, my wife's calling.
Oh yeah. So I think we just kind of ended on the copy trading settings.
Okay.
I just had a one more. I just had two more questions for that, right? So
Yeah.
I think my first question was like, for example, how often should I be swapping out these target addresses? It's like, is there like, for example, should I be swapping it out every 24 hours and stuff like that? Because my concern is that like sooner or later these wallets are gonna find out that they're being copy traded, right? So they'll either like take out all the liquidity or make me exit liquidity. So I have no idea. So just to prevent that from happening, I'm wondering whether I should just like regularly cycle out these target addresses based on what like Zelfie Guru and Soul Squeezer gives me on the day.
Yeah, that's what it's saying, that as long as each wallet is copying someone else different, then there's no way really to find out at that point. It's like separate DNA strands, you know?
Right, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's better if I just like so I won't need to swap it out until I like absolutely need to or something like that, or like should I just do it daily?
I would say to probably do the swap out unless you were not profitable. Like, there's no reason to do it if everything's working for you. Especially
Right,
knowing
yeah.
that you're not consistently bringing these wallets in back to back to back to back. You're literally gonna, bring wallets into a bundle, then all of a sudden they're gonna be copy trading, and then next thing they come back to a bundle. So it's, I think you're good in that regard. But if it's like back to back bundling, then yeah, that's a different story.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Um, yeah, so the second question I had was that, and this is just like a general thing, right? Because, I mean, like, kind of just zooming out a bit, because I've got both, like, trade, copy trade and like migration sniper, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, which one is, in your opinion, more profitable? Because, I mean, I've seen your videos and you kind of prefer copy trading in general, right? But you also mentioned that the migration sniper probably like does more trades on average.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. To be completely frank with you, like, honestly, the game has changed. The game has changed because pump swap. First of all,
Right.
the migration is instant. So before that was a thing, the sniping process would be that they essentially would wait that 3 to 5 minutes for the bonding curve to meet. And at that very point, you would kind of have a little bit more leverage, to be honest with you, as a sniper, because you can find out, like, all right, cool, like, this is the bundle, there's bundles in it. You could do some real research or whatever before actually jumping in. Now it's instant. So
Right.
I don't even know, to be completely honest with you, if that is even volatile anymore, just because anybody can literally put in like 95, 100 soul instant bond now. And,
Mm.
it wasn't like that before.
Yeah, yeah. At least like in the old days, were like 3 to 5 minutes back when the whole bonding curve was moving to radium and stuff like that, right?
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. So now
But
it's almost like it's not even like like a migration. It's just a checkpoint, and everything just still stays in the Pampan ecosystem.
exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what's happening. So,
Yes.
um, but that's why I'm more towards the whole idea of finding that wallet that's already profitable, because they've done pretty much, you're doing the research of what they already done. And who
Right.
knows if
Yeah.
they're copy trading other people or not, but if it's leveraged out between 8 minutes, 9 times out of 10, it's probably not be as many copy trades as you think. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are copy trading those ones that have basically the 20-second ones like you're referring to, just due to the fact
Mm,
that
yeah.
these are high profits. Like, you can literally go from this X, Y to Z with a matter of seconds. But if you're not leveraging with the fastest nodes, the fastest machines, the fastest spots, it's like a lot of money just off of just the pre-production before you even buy.
Right.
you know, so it's, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
I
my
get what you
thoughts.
mean. Okay. Sorry, I just have one last question, right? Sorry, because this just slipped in my head.
Yeah.
So with regards to the copy trading wallets, right? So you mentioned that it's good if I search for those with an average hold time for 8 minutes or longer. What about like the win rate and the like ROI? Is like, are there any like specific settings I should be looking out for on that front?
Well, yeah. When it comes to the win rate, honestly, anybody that's over 65% is usually pretty good. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, that means every single time you go, out of 6 times, 6 out of 10 times, you're gonna win. That means you should be profitable theoretically throughout the day. Even if you lose 4, you win. You know what I'm saying? That's how we should look at it.
Yeah.
But also, you got to remember too, the leverage as far as how much they're profiting on their ROI on average and their time has a lot to do with a lot of stuff. For example,
Hmm.
let's say you got a guy that you find that's trading and their profitability on average is say 250%. But their trading time is, let's say, on average 25 minutes, right?
Right.
So that means that theoretically, if you were to copy trade them, you could merely do like a third of the profitability and feel comfortable to know that there's room for any type of anything that happens in the market since they're on average. You're basically allowing math to stack up for you in your regards, you know.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, if they're already that good, then you just kind of pull back and like establish that margin of safety, right?
Yep. The more, the better when it comes down to the profit and elongated time of trading. That really helps
Right.
out with understanding real traders that are essentially in there with either real alpha or just understanding on what to profit at the end of the day. I know you don't have to do all the homework. It's been done for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that checks out. Okay, I think I got it. Uh, yeah, okay, I think that's all I got. Thank you so much for
Yeah, man, my
for answering my
pleasure.
questions, man.
I appreciate you, man. If you have any questions, just reach out. And let me know. I'll be here.
Sweet, thanks, man.
My pleasure, brother. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yeah, I can talk to you soon.
All right.
Right,
Bye-bye.
cheers.
Bye-bye.